What if we turn this into a fucking morning radio show?
Yes.
I think it would be good. Yeah.
I think people would probably enjoy that a little bit more. I love that, like the delay too of like Sean walking over there.
Yeah, we got that natural slap back in here.
Yeah,
I mean, this is
Yeah.
This is how Peter Gabriel found, you know, the gated reverb sound when Phil Collins was playing the drums
during a pandemic on Discord.
Yeah. But that sound was the drums coming. That sound happened when they turned on the talkback microphone.
Okay.
And then the drum sound like kind of did like a, you know, like a little like fed back, did a little feedback thing, and then they wired that to make that a sound. And then people heard it later like, oh, okay, well you put a gate and reverb, and that's how you do that. And then it became gated reverb.
What are some examples, like some particular tracks? I'm not super familiar with Genesis.
The first song is the Intruder by Peter Gabriel is the first one, and then the Coming in the Air Tonight. He's like using that again, but the Intruder is ground zero.
Cool.
And the drums are just like really naked and yeah.
But you are familiar with gated reverb because it's the sound of every 80s snare sound. So like every pop hit of the 80s had that snare with gated reverb on it.
Yeah.
Like that big like.
I'm sure I could. Yeah.
And then it cuts off all of it.
Yeah. I see. Like expands and extracts really quickly.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's like the size of the room were huge, and then all of a sudden you were outside of the room. Like you were all of a sudden in this tiny space.
Yeah.
You went from a live room to a dead room.
Whoa.
In a matter of
the walls are coming in and they're closing in on you.
Yeah.
It's like being born.
Yeah.
It'd be the opposite of being born. It'd be like going back into the
unborn.
The warmth.
But the walls got to close in before they get bigger again. Yeah.
That's deep.
So on that note,
I smoked some weed this morning. I've been thinking some thoughts.
So on that note, shall we get going?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go.
Cool. I've just been recording, and I think I'm just going to include this as a fun little intro.
Our intro stuff is always like our best. That's always our best banter. Is when we're just going.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe we just chat a little bit before we go straight into these questions.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I like that.
What have you guys been up to for the last month?
And a guitar in your driveway. That was cool.
Yeah.
You gave me this coffee.
Did.
That was very nice of you.
Oh yeah, thank you for the coffee, Mark. I made an AeroPress this morning. Delicious.
Ooh, that's the goodie. That's the spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Ooh,
that's what's going to you. It's coffee.
Nice.
Love this stuff.
Is it Xanadu? Is it? Oh, sorry. I guess I shouldn't.
No, it's fine. It's already far beyond spoiled.
Far beyond driven.
Far beyond dripping.
That's the Pantera coffee.
Better get over that drum set shot.
Are you allowed to rim shot yourself?
Well, we're making up the rules as we go today. Oh no! You said Owen.
All right, you're on deck with that. You gotta be ready.
All right.
This is our analog soundboard.
Yeah, as soon as you're ready for an F sharp.
Oh man.
Oh, it's classic. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it too. I decided to call these jarps because it's better than jaw harp and Jew harp. Both sound a little clunky.
Do you know why it's called the Jew harp? Because that's such a weird. I've always thought that was weird.
I looked it up, and it has nothing to do with Jewish people. It was like a name given to the instrument at some point, but it's not like it was it's not like the Israelites invented it.
So they just accidentally called it the Jew harp.
Someone just called it the Jew harp, and
it's possessive. It's the Jews harp.
It is the Jews harp.
Jews harp. Okay.
Well, it almost like sounds like onomatopoeia or something. Like, yeah, that's how it goes. Joe.
I'm gonna look at Wikipedia.
Yeah, it's the original. It's the original like one note monosynth. It's like the original drone machine.
I've heard it referred to as the mouth harp. I mean, that's not much. It's not great. I think Jarp is probably the best. Yeah, definitely.
I got a couple or only one. I got a jaw harp record of like different ones throughout the world, and some of them sound like they're like made out of big pieces of wood.
Whoa, cool.
And like, man, the stuff that people can do with them is astounding. Really, really incredible.
So according to the Oxford English Dictionary, according to Wikipedia saying that the Oxford English Dictionary said this, more or less satisfactory reasons may be conjectured that the instrument was actually made, sold, or imported to England by Jews, or purported to be so. Or that it was attributed to Jewish people, suggesting the trumps and harps mentioned in the Bible, and hence considered a good commercial name. So,
it was either made and distributed by Jews, or they did that to sell more of them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Marketing.
Yeah. All right.
I mean, I know a lot of the best JARP makers are still in India. They still come from out of India.
Are they Jewish?
They might be. I don't know. I'm not.
Sure.
Yeah. Couldn't tell you.
What's up?
This is all good stuff.
This is worth keeping. People just want us to talk, right?
Raw. Keep it raw.
People just want to hang out with us.
As someone who's
people are lonely right now. Me included. Yeah. I want to hang out with us too. I'm like really used to spending a lot of time, I'm used to being roommates for a few months out of the year.
Yeah, this is the longest that we've not toured since ever.
Yeah.
Missy Bros.
I that's why I've become a gamer. I don't know what to do so much that I've become a gamer.
Yeah. I knew it was fucking dark when you were the one talking about video games in the group chat.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like this pandemic has fucked with all of us. I got into modular synthesis. You bought a PlayStation. Like
I'm raising a child.
You were planning for that though. He's older. You were like, I'm gonna have a kid. I feel like there might be a pandemic next year. I'm gonna have a kid.
Not a bad time to do it. I suppose yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely
for me it's not a bad time.
Everything sucks shit. That's like the baseline, but at the same time, there's a lot of good stuff that I've been able to do because of staying home all the time. My dogs like me more because I'm not just leaving all the time.
Yeah. Pets are stoked.
Yeah, absolutely. My dogs haven't destroyed any of their beds in months now. That's pretty incredible. It used to be like if you leave for an hour, you'd come back and there'd just be like bed parts strewn about the room. Man. Which is a strange thing to do. Like the one comfort, like they're destroying like the sole comfort that they have when we're gone. But they are.
I get that. It's
trained animals.
It's like a puppy version of self-harm,
Yeah, I can see that. I made some new beds though out of. I just bought a towel at Walmart, like a cheap towel, and I bought some stuffing, and like they're these enormous dog beds. They're luxurious, and
Nice.
they're like cost $6 in materials to make up these. So
Cool.
yeah.
Beef has a bed that has a little like plastic hoop in it that's like so it has like an extra fold with a plastic hoop in it, so it like lifts up, and then he can have a little cave attached to his bed.
Cool.
He always just lays on top of it.
Trying to see what those other flyers are. I see the Andrew Jackson G had one.
Can you look and see if you can
One or two of those are. One is a Spanish language playbill for the 400 Blows, the movie.
You have great eyesight.
I can't see it, but that's my guess because I was with Owen when he found that. If that is indeed what it is.
What's that?
We were talking about your posters on the back wall, and so like the AJJ one, and I was like, I think one of them is a Spanish language handbill for the 400 Blows.
Sure is.
Yeah, because I was with you. Not because I can see it, just because my memory.
Yeah, Alyssa had found this Mexican import store called like Sueños, maybe, or Los Sueños, and she had turned me on to like a bunch of cool stuff they had, and they had a box full of old film posters.
Yeah.
Sorry, let me grab my stool.
I remember looking through those with you.
They had a box full of old film posters, and one of them, and like some of them I recognized, so I just grabbed the ones that I recognized, and that was 400 Blows, 3 Women, and there was also the Night Porter, but I gave that one away.
Well, one of them is for 3 women.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I still got that one.
I love that movie so much.
I haven't seen it yet.
Oh man, it's very special.
I should check it out. Have you seen Picnic at Hanging Rock, by the way?
I have not seen Picnic at Hanging Rock.
Just recently watched that one. Pretty trippy. The music is incredible. You would love the soundtrack. No, there's no doubt about that. I also watched Suspiria for the first time recently. I had never seen that.
Oh, yeah.
It's a good movie.
That's a great one.
The remake, right?
No, I saw the
with the Tom York soundtrack, not the classic original.
I liked the remake. A lot of people were hating on it. But.
I didn't see it, but
yeah. But I was always more of a Fulci guy on the great Italian horror director chasm.
I didn't realize there was a chasm.
There isn't. Most people just Dario Argento is the big one, and then and then there are like some other ones on the side. The people like me were like, Fulci is way better.
Sure. Oh, okay.
Oh yeah. Now we're on Seinfeld now.
So now we have transition. We have transition music.
It's not the Coal Chamber Band. What was the Mudvayne? That's what he was doing. He was being a Mudvayne.
Yeah. Mudvayne.
Tapping into that Mudvayne.
Oh, awesome. Cool. Let's get started with some cues. Let's A some cues. Cool. So we're all set. We're all good and ready.
Yeah.
All right.
Do it.
Sweet. So I'll take the first question. Allie Julian asks, "What's your favorite show that you've attended as a fan?"
Ooh, that's a good question.
I was thinking about this one, and I think probably the time that that the 3 of us went to go see Shushu at the chapel in San Francisco.
That's a good one.
Me and Mark and Preston and a bunch of other friends that aren't in the band on a day off when we were on tour. It was the best. It was so fun. The show was great. It was always era Shushu, or not always era. Sorry, Forget. It was the Forget tour, which I had already seen one of the shows in Detroit. So it was my second time seeing like that show, but it was fucking kick ass. Very good.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah. I may have I don't know. I may have a couple. I don't know if I could do just one. I could do like when I was a kid, when I was 16, the Morbid Angel Slayer Pantera show was about as good of a show as I could have comprehended in that life or the next. Like that one, and then like as an adult, or seeing Kate Bush like 5 or 6 years ago was huge. That might be up there. Or when I saw This Heat a couple years ago, saw one of their reunion shows, that might have been up there. Yeah, so Pantera and Slayer and This Heat and Kate Bush.
The Preston experience.
The Preston experience.
I keep on going back to I can't remember what year it was. Mark or Sean could help me with this potentially. I'll bet Mark could help me. So Planet X Fest that we played, was that 2011 maybe?
Yes.
Where it was at the Rhino or something in Bloomington. But what it was John Darnielle played Mountain Goats. John Darnielle, for I assume everyone who's listening to this knows who that is. Also, Kimya played that evening. Best Friends Forever, which is just an incredible. Yeah, Paul Barabo played a particularly great set, and that's saying something because he's always been a great performer, and lots of other great bands. What's that?
Dave Dondero.
Yeah, Dondero was there. I can't remember if the Taxpayers played that evening, but it was just totally stacked lineup and really good performances. The Wild, I guess, also played. I think it might have been 2 nights, so I can't remember all the bands that played on each night, but super duper solid sets.
Yeah, it was super loaded because it was like I remember it was like there was a day show and a night like it was day show, dinner break, night show. And the day show was you and Sean, and the Taxpayers closed out the day show. And then the night show was Kimya and Mountain Goats. And then the Wild played earlier in the day. That was a big that was a good one.
There was another show that I went to, maybe the last show that I attended as a fan before shows stopped happening altogether, was Frankie Cosmos, French Quarter, and Dear Nora at Club Congress, and that was super sick lineup.
Stacked.
Yeah.
I saw Godspeed You Black Emperor at Crescent Ballroom, which was really cool. They like set up the stage, like all their gear was set in like a half circle, and they all like faced the center, so it was like almost like watching a band at a practice space. They had really good projections, and just like a band at a practice space would. Yeah, that was vibe, right? Yeah, that felt really special though. Like knowing, like, because they're fucking huge, so like I bought tickets the day they went on sale for that, knowing it would sell out, because like being able to see them in like that size venue was so sick.
Yeah,
I think it might be for me, it sucks to say that this is like the most impactful. Like one of the first shows I went to was Dillinger Escape Plan at the Fireside Bowl in Chicago, which is like, but it was seriously like my 4th live show that I'd ever been to, or something. Yeah, which is like jumping into the deep end of live shows.
Yeah.
It was like
you almost died, dude.
Well, what's funny is like, because I knew nothing about shows, like the people I went with, the friends that I went with were like, you don't want to stand near the front. Like you should stand further back. And I was like, oh, okay. Because in my mind, I was like, you just go to like you try to get close to see the band. And they're like, you just go ahead. Like this band is kind of crazy. I was like, I don't know about that. And then like, and it was like a $3 show too. It was like something happened on their tour and something got messed up. They just got their new singer, so they had like something to prove, and like it was July, so it was hot as shit. And there was like at the end of the show, the floor was just like you could see like a big puddle of water, well as sweat, just like covering the floor in there. It was so gross. And I don't think that place is a venue anymore. But,
no, it's not.
They were like, turn all the lights out at the beginning of this set, and then like some kid just like smashes a light bulb, like the last light that was on, and so it was like pitch black, and it like, of course, like they just had like 6 strobe lights or something. It had like floodlights in the front and strobe lights in the back, and then they just like so it's like in complete darkness, and then you just see like flashing lights and this guy come out. Like I just remember the singer holding the microphone and doing a stabbing motion like this down into the audience, and I was like, what is happening?
It's like a Fight Club.
It was like Fight Club.
I mean, that band did bring a Fight Club with them, you know? Like I saw them at the Mason Jar, and that was the time that I saw somebody get hit with a pipe in the back alley.
Whoa.
So yeah, there was definitely some Fight Club vibes.
One of the guitar players had his ear duct taped, and I could not figure out why. It was like, it was the weirdest thing to me.
I can guess.
Yeah.
Damn.
That or Lightning Bolt.
Reverse Van Gogh. I never have seen Lightning Bolt. I've missed them every time they've come through.
They cancel it quite a bit. No, wait. No, I'm thinking of Japanthers. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, Lightning Bolt.
I saw Lightning Bolt at Trunk Space, and they were pretty good. They were overwhelming though. I kind of had to I had to step in and out for the show because it was so intense.
Yeah. I like
fucking badass.
So badass. Oh, and you showed me Lightning Bolt early on when we were hanging out. I think you let me borrow The Power of Salad DVD.
That DVD was has been so influential in my life. It's weird, just my understanding of DIY music and stuff like that. That was my window into that in 2001 or whatever that was.
Yeah, I mean that's a very insightful window. Can't really say the same thing about Pantera's home videos, you know.
They're insightful, but in a different way. Cool. So, Preston, do you want to read this next question from Masuda Alex?
From Masuda Alex. Has the album Good Luck, Everybody determined the future direction for the band? Like, are we going to see less punk stuff like songs from Bible 2, Knife Man, etc.? And they hope that that's not the case. They love the punk songs from us.
I love a punk song too.
Me too.
I like I think Loudmouth is up there, I think, with our best punk tunes. But yeah, not a whole lot of that on Good Luck Everybody. I would say that generally we try to make albums different every single time around, and I have noticed that oftentimes when we go one direction for one album, we'll try to head in the other direction for the next one. So I can't say. I'm thinking of some of the new material. Nothing as like punk as maybe stuff that occurred on like Can't Maintain and Knife Man. But yeah, I could absolutely see us going a little punky in the future. Punky.
Punky future.
Good Luck Everybody was kind of intentional because Bible 2 was such a good like punk and rock record. I thought that it would have been kind of a fool's errand to try to do another rock record after that, or another punk record. So Good Luck Everybody was intentionally different and kind of more folky. And I'll say definitely after this 2020 detour of COVID is over and we can like kind of play together more. I would love to rock harder.
Cool.
Yeah, that sounds like fun. It's very appealing to get together.
Yeah.
It's hard to do that right now with recording remotely and doing stuff like that. It's a lot more like solitary, which isn't super conducive to making like energetic punk.
Yeah.
So yeah, as soon as, but I'm sure we'll definitely be hungry for that by the time we're able to get together and rock.
Oh, that's gonna be so good.
Yeah, it really is.
Gosh. Yeah.
It's gonna cut fucking loose.
Mhm.
It's hard.
Cool. Sean, do you want to read this next one from Julian?
Sure. Julian L says, "Happy holidays to the crew. What are your family traditions around the winter holidays, and what are some charities that people can donate to help in need this time of the year?" Question mark. We just got a Christmas tree for the first time in my adult life and set it up. It's a very, very little one, about like this size. And it's not a real tree; it's plastic, and we have it up high so the baby can't reach it. So we did that. To finish the question, we did a Christmas tree, and for charities that people can donate to help in this time, help that are in need this time of year, especially with the coronavirus and the inactivity of the U.S. government. A lot of people are food insecure, so finding local food banks to donate to is that's my vote for how you can help people in need this year. Local food banks. Anyone else?
Who says live music's dead?
Is that Sean's way of answering the question about which direction AJJ is going to be?
Rockers, clearly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay.
Nothing says fuck you like a unicorn.
God, who was that again? Was that fucking
was,
Green Day?
That was Billy Joe talking. Yeah, that was like the tagline or something. Yeah, for the new
father
Green
of
Day
all
album.
MFer motherfuckers.
The mother of all father babies. Yeah.
That's a fucking PT Cruiser album right there. Love cruising around in my PT, listening to the father of all unicorn fuckers.
You buy a PT Cruiser, it's just in the fucking stereo.
Yeah, like U2, but for iPhones.
Yeah, that's my holiday tradition.
Yeah,
buying a PT Cruiser. Let's do another question.
No, let's finish this one off really quick because I want to talk about charities. Because we can list a ton of charities that people can donate to. So I think a good one is always the Trevor Project, which is an LGBTQ suicide prevention stuff, which also Teen Lifeline. Sean worked there. We try to help them out a lot.
They do a lot of good.
Any sort of mutual aid that you can find locally is good. Like I know in Phoenix, there's a bunch of coffee shops around downtown that you can just drop off any sort of supplies, dry goods that we've been dropping off, like just basics like tampons and stuff like that. So any sort of local mutual aid, because things are bad for a lot of people right now. So do a little bit of research because I can't help with other cities, but what else? There's so many.
More deaths.
No more deaths is great.
Yeah, no more deaths is good. Just kind of helping along the borderlands. Yeah, year round, it's important to help folks that are making that long, dangerous trek, but especially in the summertime. So that's just a thing here in Southern Arizona. I mean, anyone can donate from anywhere, of course, but a problem that's a little bit isolated.
Yeah. Another good one.
Oh.
Go ahead, Owen. I already went.
Oh, just the COVID relief for Native folks here.
Oh, the Navajo Hopi Family COVID-19 Relief Fund.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
There are a couple, I think, too. But yeah, it's like at least in Phoenix, I think I was hearing some statistics that that Native people make up 5% of the population, but are like 10% of the COVID cases in Arizona right now. But I'd imagine nationally that's like similar kind of disproportionate situation.
Yeah.
Sorry, Sean. Passing it back to you.
That was the one I was going to say.
Or I got another idea is to just go to GoFundMe and just click around for a little bit, because they're apparently the biggest healthcare provider in the United States right now. So,
wow, that is quite fucked.
Yeah.
It's awesome that they exist.
What a cruel country.
Yeah, very sad.
So yeah, if you just want to poke around on there and you see somebody a stranger that needs surgery, you can just throw money at them.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't really miss.
Yeah, so many people in need right now.
What's cool about that, giving to multiple things is spreading that as far and as detailed as possible, and as opposed to donating to one monolithic huge nonprofit is really helpful, because they're all doing so much in their own ways. So I think you almost reach more people that way.
Yeah.
Cool. Oh, and you want to read this next question from Tabitha?
Yes. I guess this is a personal question, but what musicians did you guys listen to over and over again as teenagers / kids?
Ooh, I love this question.
Me too.
Yeah.
Let's see. So over the course of about, I guess, 4 years, the 4 years or 5 years maybe, it went from listening to a lot of new metal like Korn and the Deftones, especially the Deftones, and then I got my grandma's Simon and Garfunkel Live in Central Park CD, and I really liked that, and I listened to that over and over again, and then and then Morrissey and the Smiths, riding it out with me just over and over again. I had a car, and I drove around with a tape player, and so I'd get Morrissey tapes like Bone of Drag, and the one with November Spawned a Monster. That's it. I mean, it's sad to know that Morrissey's a kind of a shit now, or has always been, I suppose. But he left an indelible mark on me musically when I was a kid.
Cool. Yeah. Some of the, I think tapes that end up in your first car are gonna get a lot of use and leave a mark. So some of the tapes I had, I found some of my sister's tapes in the attic, which was really handy. So Bossa Nova by the Pixies was up there. David Bowie, Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars was there. I had a copy of Madness, One Step Beyond. So yeah, those were really big. System of a Down was really big, like in my teen years. Just remember getting Toxicity and just listening to it. I couldn't get tired of it, And also, I guess Weezer Blue Album was the same kind of thing, where it's sometimes you get a record and you overdo it and you listen to it too much and you get sick of it. But I feel like those two, Weezer Blue Album, Toxicity by System of a Down. I had a copy of Blink-182 Cheshire Cat that I really, really loved when I was in 6th grade. So, yeah.
To piggyback off of Ben, just because you mentioned Weezer, that was one for me that was an over and over again thing. But also to piggyback off of Sean, the Deftones were another band that I was like crazy about, and so it blew my mind when I found on Napster like live bootlegs of Deftones covering Weezer songs. I was just like,
yeah.
Wait, they did that?
A favorite band covering another favorite band. What is happening?
What?
The
Yeah, what
snake
song
eats
was
its
that?
tail.
Say It Ain't So, I think.
There are a couple. They've done a couple of them.
All right. I got to do some
Peter
research.
Moreno loves Weezer. Or he did at one point. I also realized that band sounds so cool because of his love for Depeche Mode. I guess that was his main influence that he was bringing to the table when Deftones were getting together. And I was like, okay, yeah, that makes a lot of sense now. Why they have this like cool, like kind of dreamy, ethereal quality to their brand of new metal instead of just like, yeah, it's got a different sort of vibe. But also Pavement, because some brilliant record store clerk, when I went up and was like, "Do you guys have anything that sounds like Weezer?" I was like, you should listen to Pavement. Check this out. And then I heard Wowie Zowie and was like, this is weird. I like it. And then I kept listening to it. So thank you, record store clerk, wherever you are.
One time I asked a record store clerk if they had anything that sounded like Radiohead, and he gave me Tarkus by Emerson, Lake and Palmer. Changed my life.
It's a great prank.
The stuff I listened to the most when I was, from 10 on was I don't know. I remember a lot of it pretty well, so I can kind of go in chronological order, but it was like started things like Metallica and Smashing Pumpkins. And then when I was about 12, I hit on to like Pantera and Slayer and Black Sabbath. And those were probably like the 3 most listened to things. Then other things like System of a Down and Sepultura and White Zombie. And then around when I was 16, I started listening to the Beatles and Led Zeppelin and David Bowie and Velvet Underground. So I'd say probably all those things were also probably in the late teens, probably Bright Eyes too, actually. So yeah. All of those things were major listening points for me, like for that decade.
Let's go around the table really quick. Each of us pick one piece of music, song, album, band. One piece though that we were bumping at age 6.
Bumping at age 6.
Yeah.
Sir Mix-a-Lot, I think. Might have been. I don't know.
Baby Got Back.
That probably wasn't. When did that come out? Because I feel like I was all about that song.
Oh, about age 6 is okay.
I probably was a little bit older. I would say. Sorry. Yeah, I'd say Stop Making Sense by Talking Heads, because my parents had a dubbed tape of that. On one side was that record, and the other side was a Living Color, a Living Color record. So I remember always. I'd confuse them though. I'd always say, I want to listen to Living Color, and then they'd play Living Color, and I'd be like, no, Living Color. And I was I was referring to Talking Heads, Stop Making Sense.
Oh, okay. Cool.
So that was an early favorite for me.
Right on.
Elton John's Greatest Hits for me. That was one of the few CDs, early CD tapes that my family had, and I loved Elton John. Loved it. Still do.
It's one of my favorite cleaning the house records. I don't know if it's the same collection, but it's an Elton John's Greatest Hits, and it just puts me in a great mood. I crank that shit and I fucking sweep the floors and mop and it's all good.
Yeah. I remember listening to Saturday Night's All Right for Fighting and be like, how does he make the piano sound like that? How does he do all of that on a piano? That's crazy.
What about you, Owen, besides Mannheim Steamroller?
I used to be afraid to go to sleep by myself at night, so my parents bought me these cassettes that I would. I can remember like exactly where I had this little boombox that had like it was a radio and like a radio and cassette player combo, so you could tape the radio, which was like a big practice of mine when I was. Yeah, it was a big practice of mine, and but I got these tapes, or they got me these tapes when I was really little that were like, I think one was called Mr. Beethoven Lives Upstairs, but they were like all these classical composers, and there was like historical fiction about these classical composers, and they'd play music in between, so they'd be interspliced like story and music of like, and Mr. Beethoven was like throwing papers around the floor, or like whatever, just to like from somebody else's perspective. But I would listen to that while I was going to sleep, so I would like fall asleep to those tapes all the time. So if we're talking about like what I was bumping,
Yeah,
that was definitely getting the most play, were these like classical music, story song, historical fiction tapes.
Cool.
Mark.
I'm doing some research on my phone, trying to figure it out.
Trying to figure out what you were playing on Spotify when you were 6.
Yeah. I can't remember a couple years ago.
It was like
It's a deep history.
Ago, yeah.
No, this has to be it. This is roughly age 6. I believe I'm uncovering some memories right now, because I was like, at first when you brought it up, I was like, fuck if I know. But I believe I had I was 8 for this, doing some reverse engineering math, but I had the 1996 Grammy nominees compilation CD.
Oh, cool.
I was trying to figure out what I was like trying to uncover, like songs and stuff. I don't even know if this is the right one. Yeah, no, this is it, because it had it has fucking Boys to Men and Gangsta's Paradise and that Joan Osborne song about God being one of us, and Waterfalls, Kiss from a Rose, You Ought to Know, like
Good year. Damn.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
man.
the 1996
So
Grammy.
it's like the Batman Forever. It's almost like the Batman Forever soundtrack.
Totally, yeah. But yeah, I had that CD. That must have been one of the first CDs that like I owned. And that would have put me in like what, 3rd grade or something. So
Around there,
yeah, that and Weird Al.
Yeah. Oh, Weird Al.
So the Grammy nominees, and then the albums parodying the Grammy nominees.
It was all very current for the time.
Yeah.
This is a crazy question. Did anybody own the Hook soundtrack or the Dick Tracy soundtrack? Those were 2 of the first CDs I ever owned.
No.
I love that Dick Tracy movie though. I remember, and obviously Hook is a fantastic film.
I saw Hook a fuck ton of times.
Yeah.
Stayed watching Hook.
That's a good movie.
I had the first CD I ever owned was Aerosmith's Get a Grip. Like I remember, like I like got to pick it out. Oh, it was a tape actually, but the one with the cow's udder with a piercing, very erotic.
I'm very familiar. It's got a lot of good songs on it too.
Yeah.
Like
a ton of good fucking songs. Eat the Rich it's like that was the first track after the sign rap he does at the beginning.
Crazy is on it, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Crying, yeah, Crazy and Crying.
The best song is Living on the Edge, without a doubt, which also has the best video.
Yeah.
And starring Edward Furlong, who's like, I don't want your fucking condoms, Dad. He throws the condoms away. And Steven Tyler's got sick outfits.
Is Alicia Silverstone in that one? She was in a couple of the Aerosmith.
No, she was in that one with his daughter, where they're both like sexy babes running around playing tricks on older men.
I believe that song is called Crazy.
Yep. And then I guess the friends break up for the crying video because that's just Alicia Silverstone up to her same old tricks. What's the next question?
Yeah, Ben, do you want to read this next one from Ian?
Absolutely. Ian Good asks, if each of you could be a Star Wars character IRL, who would it be? If you had to live the part. I'll be Ben Kenobi. You know, desert living and stuff. It kind of suits me.
Oh, specifically when he's like not Jediing.
Yeah, like hermit style.
Hell yeah.
Also, I don't know a whole lot about Star Wars, so that's my easy way out.
No, that actually is
You're
like
totally Ben Kenobi.
I get that 100%.
Yeah, that's accurate. Yeah.
Fuck yeah, I did it. Who's Darth Maul? Who's Jar Jar?
Who's the Jar Jar of the group? Look to your left, look to your right. If you don't see a Jar Jar, you're the Jar Jar.
There's the Jar Jar.
Could I be one of the little? Could I be one of the little the Ewoks? Is that what they're called? The little fuzzy forest.
Yeah.
the fuzzy forest.
Star Wars.
I'll be one of those. I don't even have to have my own name. I can just be part of a cast.
I'll totally be a
Very
Jawa,
divisive.
scrapping robots and dealing in robots.
Love a Jawa.
Yeah, actually, with how this year's gone, I feel like I would be a Jawa too, just fucking like scavenging and selling shit.
It's a very Phoenician kind of career. Like those are definitely Phoenix creatures. Those Jawas.
Yeah,
Corey
those Jawas
Buzzard
are
is Jawa.
Yeah,
they're hitting the bids. They're eBaying shit.
Corey Busboom is building a sandcrawler out in Globe.
Check it out, dude! I built this dune buggy made out of refurbished breast pumps. If you guys are being cast members, I want to be in the Cantina band. I would want to be just a member of that cooking group of jazz daddies.
Oh yeah, you do love
Yeah.
jizz.
Yeah, is that the type of music they play?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
called jizz.
They're just band.
Space jazz or jizz.
Jizz harp.
I think I would like to be there's one droid that looks like it's made out of a trash can.
R2D2?
No, it's like an R2D2 shaped thing, but more like if a garbage can had legs, and I love that guy.
I think I know who you're talking about.
Yeah,
it's just
it's
more cylindrical or something.
It's just like a side character in like some scene, but I think I had the toy of it. Like they made a toy of it because obviously. So I had the action figure for the garbage can droid.
It's a different kind of R2 unit.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. I know Star Wars.
Might be R2D. I think it's like R2D4 or like R3D5 or some shit like that. Like it's very much just like, hey, we put some legs on a trash can.
Those guys are really good at making inanimate objects and robots very cute.
Oh yeah.
There was
Good
this
at it.
museum in like I want to say it was like a touring exhibition, but I can't remember where I saw it. I was kind of little in I want to say San Francisco or something. That was just like a ton of props and and like plans of different versions of Star Wars creations. It was mind blowing. Like just an incredible exhibit. I wish I could remember what it was called. It was like a touring exhibit. If it wasn't, then it was like located in the Bay, I want to say, but super, super, super cool. Blah, blah, blah.
Cool. I'll take this next question from Jake. They ask, in a poem, you say, quote, songs are just commercials for awful, ugly people who want your money, your attention, and all of your love. Is this true of my favorite song, American Body Rentals?
Of course not. No, my darling. Don't worry. Not at all.
Cool. Preston, do you want to ask this question from Jules?
Yeah. Let me get my phone out. Jules Zuckerberg asks, "What's each favorite band? I'm going to do this again."
We'll get it clean.
Jules Zuckerberg asks, "What is our favorite cartoons?" Really meaning anime, but also want to give space for other tunes if any of us don't watch anime.
Oh, don't worry. Some of us watch anime.
Yeah.
Probably all of us.
Who Framed Roger Rabbit? That's anime, right?
That's only half cartoon.
Poser. Can't watch a cartoon without people in it? Come on.
Cool World. Damn it. I'm gonna go. I'll say Spirited Away. I like Miyazaki. I don't know a whole lot of anime, but I love the Miyazaki movies that I've seen.
Oh, hell yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna say Spirited Away, Bob. Jules.
Yeah, I would add to that Akira, but I would second Spirited Away. But I hadn't seen Akira until recently, but I'd always known I was supposed to watch it because everybody spoke highly of it. But yeah, it was mind-blowingly good. And also I started watching Attack on Titan on tour, but I haven't finished it yet, and that was pretty cool. Pass.
I'm gonna have to be the wet blanket. I don't really know any anime.
Well, what about cartoons?
Don't know many cartoons.
Oh.
I don't know. I didn't have I grew up under a rock and didn't have cartoons. Like there were some that like I liked all cartoons, but I never saw any of them. So I never.
What's your favorite Adult Swim cartoon?
I don't know. I'd have to see a list.
Well, you got your Squidbillies, your Aqua Teen Hunger Force. What else? I know. Oh yeah, there's Archer. But yeah, I don't know.
Metalocalypse.
That is a good one.
That's my favorite. That's my favorite cartoon.
That's a good cartoon.
Fuck yeah.
We got there.
Pretty easy. What's your? Yeah, I like Akira. Akira's fucking amazing. I liked Vampire Hunter D a lot, which is another like old feature length anime. And my favorite Miyazaki film is My Neighbor Totoro.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
I watched Evangelion twice last year. Just like watched through it and then immediately watched through it again. That shit holds up. And then I liked FLCL or Fooly Cooly a lot. Well, the first season when it was the only season in existence, and I watched it as a teenager. I thought that was really cool. I haven't seen the new stuff that they did in the last few years. Those are definitely my top two animes.
Hell yeah.
I did watch the first like episode of One Punch Man because I liked the idea, which is it's this superhero who is too strong and he doesn't give a shit about being a superhero because it's too easy. So he just like stands there and like people hit him and then he just punches them once and it's over. And he's depressed because it's too easy. It's pretty funny.
Oh, that's good. There's a manga that I read when I was a kid that had a similarly funny premise of it was called Eat Man. There's a guy that could eat stuff and then shoot it out of his finger. So he would just like have a bag of screws and just be like munching on them and then like pew pew pew. It was really clever. I'll ask the next question. Avis wants to know. We're getting branded questions now. Sorry, I'm sorry, Avis. That's probably haunted you your entire life. Sorry. If this is asked, but been asked before, asks Avis. But how did y'all get to know Jeff Rosenstock? I think we met Jeff Rosenstock through Mike Park, but I can't remember which came first. Hanging out with him at one of the fests in Gainesville, or him setting up a show for us, and then through a series of mishaps, ending up having the show moved a bunch of times, and then by the end of the night, Jeff being really drunk and his partner Christine yelling at him to take care of the band that he booked.
A lot of that was on us, though. We gotta. I think.
Yeah, no, it's a series of mishaps. Not putting it all on Jeff, but yeah, and it's a long fucking story. I don't feel like getting into that story because it's definitely around. But
I'm just gonna mention the one element that I remember from that. Yeah, it is a long story, but there's this one moment where we're just parked. This is the first time I've ever been in New York City, the big city, and we're at a fucking gas station with an atlas, like a US atlas, trying to figure out where the fuck we were going to find a show, like a house show somewhere in Brooklyn, and using a payphone to try to get a hold of people, and just feeling as though we were in way over our heads, and we definitely were.
Very, very late to the shows.
This is the first time that it's really clicked in my brain. Like, I knew you guys used to tour with an atlas, and that made sense, like driving on the highways across the country and shit. But I can't fathom using an atlas in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
We hadn't realized that would be trouble until we found ourselves in the middle of it.
Bands that had booking agents back then would receive like big binders full of MapQuest instructions on exactly how to get to venues, and we were too DIY to have anyone help us out that much, and also too cheap to print out MapQuest instructions.
Did you guys ever play The Smell like early on? I just remember showing up to The Smell in LA and like with my old band, and like because of how it's like located, the entrance is in an alley and it's like shuttered when you show up until it's like right about showtime. And it's like I couldn't imagine like being on tour, having received MapQuest instructions, getting outside of a place like The Smell and being like, is this the right place? Just like completely shuttered. No one's there.
Yeah, it's like somebody's setting you up to like rob you or something.
Yeah, it just looks completely. There's no indication that it's a music venue at all.
Yeah, we never played there, but we went there one time. But we showed up, after the doors had already opened, But yeah, I agree. That would be a really difficult situation to show up as a touring band, not being familiar, having to deal with that. How about the rest of you guys as far as Jeff Rosenstock first experiences that you recall?
I think the first time I met him was when the Queers tour was at the Brick House.
Mm-hmm.
Is Erica Harper. I have a Get Warmer tattoo. And Erica Harper was like, "Oh, you guys show these people this tattoo. Let me go get him." And then that was like, "All right, cool. Here we go." Like a weird, awkward 20-year-old. I got this tattoo of this artwork. And look at me now.
You've been on the other side of that exchange a couple times, I imagine.
Yeah.
At this point.
As far as I know, according to my memory of John DeDominici, he said I was the first person to have that tattoo. And history is written by the victors, so. But yeah, I think it was just like I just met I just met Jeff from going to enough shows when the band was small enough and like knowing you guys and stuff like that, until eventually it was just like, he'd like shoot me a message on Facebook to set up a show for him or something like that. And just pretty standard like DIY connection making.
Yeah, I just met him through you guys at I think outside of the Trump space once when Sean was like, "Hey, this guy wants to put out your old band's record." I was like, "Oh, cool." He's like, "Oh yeah," like I don't know how I ended up meeting him, but then we talked about it outside of the venue, and I was like, "I can't get permission for that, but do you want to put out this other record that I made?" And,
nice, the old switcheroo.
Yeah.
Classic DIY switcheroo.
Yeah, I don't remember the first time I met Jeff, but I really got to know him when just touring together was when I got to know him. So whenever that was, like 2012, 2013.
12, yeah.
Well, the Future of the Left, yeah, that was later in 2012.
Yeah, I had met him before then, but that was when I really got to know him.
Yeah, it's cool to be able to ride in a vehicle with like we were doing it with Chad on this last tour, Emperor X. Like I like
Yeah.
We've talked about it a bunch,
before
like bringing like a different party into the van, like riding with Kimya, like because there's so much travel time in touring. So like when you're playing a show, everybody's busy, but like you actually get to hang out when you're all in a vehicle for 8 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool when we were on that when we had Rick and we had like Kepi and Matt. There was like
and Erica.
I just remember one picture of everybody in the van, and it was just like a huge full van of people. It was really, really cool.
Yeah,
That was cool.
having more new, having new people or bringing a tour mate along, like fills the fish tank with oxygen a little bit. Keeps everybody like mentally stimulated. Since we're all so comfortable around each other that we can go an 8-hour drive without speaking a word.
Yeah.
Just like in our own little little heads. Yeah, it is comfortable. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's being able to share silence with a friend is cool, but also like having a new person to talk to is great, and to just to stir the shit up a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's like you have a jar full of praying mantises and then you shake it.
Yeah.
All right, who's next? Is it my turn to read, or
I think is the Owens turn.
oh,
I'll do it.
This is a good one.
All right, what do we got?
This one's very long.
This is a big
Keith
one.
Gifford asks, asks and ends with a question mark. Okay. Bertrand Russell.
What?
What's that?
Sorry, never mind. Go on. Bertrand Russell.
Bertrand Russell once asked a question: would a set that contained all sets that do not contain themselves contain itself? The answer is basically the set of all sets that are not members of themselves simultaneously must and cannot be a member of itself. With one question, he essentially destroyed naive set theory. Does this make you worry that by inviting so many people to ask you so many questions that eventually you'll be asked the question that destroys the AJJs? My friend just told me that in Magic the Gathering, cannot always supersedes can. This could possibly be a loophole. Does your band have magical properties or protections?
Yes.
And that is why we're not afraid, because we have magical protections. So we're not afraid of the questions.
The magical protection is screening these questions. So if somebody were to ask something that would destroy us, I would simply delete it.
Mark is the magical protection.
I'm magic.
Mark is the magic.
Yeah, this is not an invitation to start asking questions that are like, hey, who's your least favorite member of the band? Or what are some grudges that you hold against your bandmates?
Andrew is my least favorite member, obviously.
If you could survive without any of these 5 people, who would it be? Like, don't ask those questions. But yeah. Ben, do you want to ask the next one from Brandy?
Next one from Brandy. Brandy Crockett asks, what places do you guys buy your music gear from? My husband loves Sweetwater, but I'm curious what other musicians use. I think that we could all agree that Craigslist is a wonderful source of musical instruments and stories for to tell your grandchildren, if you make it through the transaction, that is.
Yeah.
Fun, interesting interactions out there just waiting to be had with all the characters on Craigslist. Local shops are good. Sweetwater, just ask, push for that deal, ask James or Jacob, I guess,
Or Tony.
or Travis.
I
or
got Tony
Tyler.
too, actually.
I have
Really? We have the
I
same
have
guy?
Jonathan.
Yeah.
Jonathan.
I've got
yeah,
Jonathan.
So that guy, he'll hook you up. Just let him know that AJJ sent you, or let him know you play an AJJ, and they'll give you some kind of discount. They're just trying to make a deal. So
Yeah. They're trying to make the sale. They'll give you free shipping. You just got to ask them for it.
Yeah.
But I like, local shops first and Craigslist. But local ones, I like shopping at Metronome. I like Bookman's. I like Rainbow Guitars is right near where I live.
shop.
Yeah, folk shop. When we're on the road, it's impossible to not go to a guitar center at least once a tour to re-up on like sticks and strings and stuff. That's just the way it is. I mean, man, Guitar Center's going bankrupt. What are we going to do, guys, when we're on tour next? We're going to plan ahead.
We need to start
bring stuff, or
we need to start our own
find
line
local?
we need to start our own line of stores
From my understanding, bankruptcy.
that we can stay in.
AJ Guitar Center.
Exactly.
From my understanding, bankruptcy just means you tell the government, "Oops, no money," and then you're okay.
Yeah, that's
I
pretty
think
much
there's
it.
still-
It's like basically saying, I've decided I'd rather not pay off my debts.
Yeah.
But aren't they going to have to close their shop and liquidate their remaining stock to?
Maybe, yeah, who knows?
They're still running at this point. I think bankruptcy.
Have you got into one?
Well, I mean,
It's pretty fucked up now.
it has been for the
I
last
went,
few
into,
years.
I went into one not too long ago, and it was really, really sad.
Yeah, it's really sad. Everybody has to wear a mask and spreads a deadly virus everywhere.
Yeah. I mean, to me, most of gear stuff, yeah. Sweetwater is good for new stuff and reverb and things like that. But to me, like Craigslist and like local shops are always that's where I've gotten all of my coolest stuff. Is from meeting up with people or like, going into little shops. Yeah, because the internet is wonderful and has made so much gear available, but it also, like pushes everybody in the same direction. And it's you just gotta be a hound, be out there looking for the blood, looking for the gear blood.
So here, I'm going to give a few Craigslist tips. I think this would be, just to mitigate our liability. So Starbucks are great. They often have outlets if you have like an amp or something. I mean, you can meet in the parking lot or whatever. When possible, just try to meet somebody in some kind of public space. Also, like when you go hiking, if you're going to go do a Craigslist deal, it's best to let somebody know where you're going and when you expect to be back. But as long as you take those things into consideration, good luck. Have fun. Enjoy the adventure.
Not to rain on anybody's parade, but Sweetwater is questionable politically. If anybody wants to go climb in that tree,
there's also
So I'm not going to say any more than that.
Swim in those waters. You mean?
Well, you can climb the tree to knowledge, or you can swim in the waters with the sharks, or
Can you swing in the trees with the monkeys?
Yeah. I don't know what the real life analog for that is, but yes, you definitely can.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I've like since that info came out, like I've been trying to avoid using Sweetwater so much. So yeah, I like just like I like niche enough stuff that like I generally just end up ordering it directly from like the people who make it. Like a lot of pedal manufacturers just have like a big cartel or some shit. As far as like synthesizer stuff, Perfect Circuit is great. Control Voltage is great. Perfect Circuit has a fucking awesome showroom in Burbank. Which
Yeah, they do.
But yeah, I've been doing my best to keep Perfect Circuit afloat during COVID. Who else? But yeah, I think ordering direct, even just like a lot of like tiny manufacturers just have reverb shops.
Yep.
So that's cool.
Yeah,
And
reverb is pretty comprehensive.
Yeah, it's amazing now. Like you can actually get anything. Like if you want a vintage thing that's in good shape, it's just a matter of the dollars. And now like the market is like the market has decided how much that thing is worth. So other than like finding weird deals and stuff on Craigslist, like it's just really made things available. A wide variety of things. Whereas like, 10 years ago, you'd be trying to find the thing you're looking for a while, and then maybe finally find it. But reverb has everything.
And then some.
Yeah.
More than you'd ever need. Cool. I'll take this next question. This comes from Newt, and they ask, could you all tell us about some of your tattoos?
I cannot.
You don't have any, right?
I have none.
I'll give a real little one. This one right here.
Yeah, that's pretty.
And Steven Steinbrink stick and poked me on at a friend's house in Philadelphia in 2011, 2012. And it's a rain cloud. It's a desert rain cloud for a desert boy.
Looks great.
You missed the desert like the deserts missed the rain.
I do.
At that time in Philly.
Every time I leave the desert, I get a couple sticks of creosote to put it in the bathroom, so it smells like a desert when you shower.
Wonderful smell.
Life hacks.
Let's see. This is my wedding ring. I got it tattooed so that I wouldn't lose it and would never take it off. That's the one I'm going to show.
I don't have any easily shown, but I have the aforementioned cover of Get Warmer on the inside of my arm wearing sleeves, so you can't see it. Professional. I also have a tattoo of my dog that I think was on last month's video or maybe the one before.
Yeah.
I got underneath this was a cover up, but underneath this is a backwards tattoo underneath this black bit. Because I was under 21 and in Illinois where I lived at the time, you needed to be 21 to get tattooed. And I was working at a record store and this guy was like, yeah, I just got out of prison and like I'm getting these needles in the mail. I'm just going to have my friends pay me $50 or whatever and I'll just do whatever on them. And I was like, this is my gateway into tattoos because I'm under 21. So I paid this dude $50 or whatever to come into my living room, put the poor guy under like a heat lamp, and then like had him draw out a treble clef because I was like, I love music. I'm gonna get a music tattoo, and then it was terrible. I even was like trying to like fix the sketches a little bit and before it went on my body, and I didn't realize that the stencil reversed the image. And I was looking at it like this upside down, the whole time. So for some reason, it just like didn't click in my head, and when it did click in my head, I was asleep. Like I was going to bed with it healing, and I was just like, "Fuck!" I just woke up like, "Oh no!" as it. Yeah.
Wait.
Oh, okay.
All right, real quick, do that one part again. And I woke up and I was like, "Oh fuck!" And then Preston at the same time, we'll hit our things.
I woke up like, "Oh fuck!" Oh my gosh, so good.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So silly.
Jesus.
What's funny is leading up to that, I had nightmares about having fucked up tattoos for a while. It did not deter me from getting a fucked up tattoo myself. In reality,
No. It sounds like you kind of it sounds premonition.
Yep.
All right. Preston, do you want to read this next one from Oriana?
Yeah, this is from Oriana. Do you guys buy your pets Christmas gifts? And are your pets spoiled? I do not buy them Christmas gifts, but they are very spoiled every day of the year. Not just Christmas.
Sometimes I'll buy Maggie a little outfit for Christmas, and anytime I go to the pet store, I get her like some kind of treat, whether it be a rawhide or a pig ear or some of that dog cheese. And I would say she's very spoiled, although less spoiled. She's less spoiled now because we have the baby that takes up more of the attention. Still pretty spoiled though.
Our dogs are spoiled as hell. I don't get them Christmas stuff, but my mom does. Like here you go. Here's your dog's Christmas presents, and it's like a fucking cookie the size in the shape of a bone that's like this big, and yeah. But they're spoiled all year. They deserve it.
They're working hard, being cute.
Yeah. Somebody's got to do it.
Yeah, I was just mentioning to these guys I made some big doggy beds for my dogs, but they like to destroy their beds. Or I blame Piper. Piper, it's tough though. We blame Piper, but we haven't actually seen, we don't know if it's exactly him destroying the beds, but he looks the guiltiest, and he's the one that likes to chew on things the most. So yeah, we give them treats. We make sure they have big, soft, fluffy beds, and but we don't really buy many Christmas gifts. But I think they do need some sweaters. So yeah, I think we'll get some dog clothes for them soon.
Yeah, dog clothes are more a gift to the owner than the dog, but it still counts.
Yeah, I mean, some dogs like the clothes more than others.
Yeah, my dogs fucking love wearing shirts, especially when it's cold. Yeah, like they like run around like, did you see this? I'm wearing a shirt. You see this? It's great.
Oh my god.
Shit. So Sean, a good hack is baby suits, onesies.
I tried it.
Decent, like, didn't work. Or yeah.
No, my dog's she's a tube, so she just like slips right out of the neck hole. She's like a kind of like a little skink sort of lizard dog. So she just they don't fit her.
Or some people out there, sometimes it works out that a baby onesie is a nice dog shirt. Keeps them a little bit warmer in the winter time.
Hell yeah. Let's see. Sean, you want to ask this next question from Grimmy?
Yeah, hi Grimmy. What is your favorite electric guitar shape? And what color would your lightsaber be? I like the shape of the Gibson Explorer. It's over the top, but still classy. People will play them sometimes. Like I'm mainly thinking about Pete Entwistle from the Who has an Explorer bass. That's pretty sick. My lightsaber would probably be maroon. or possibly purple, but Mace Windu I think is the only one with a purple lightsaber, and I don't know if I'd want to step on Mr. Jackson's toes. Who else? Who? What do you guys got?
I would go with just solely shape. I'm gonna go with the Warlock by BC Rich.
I knew somebody had to say it.
Yeah,
I don't know if they really make quality. I don't know if the electronics are good or the action's good or the craftsmanship's good, but solely by the shape. And I think it would be cool to actually paint it a different color than black. But there's that, and then I think my lightsaber would probably be brown.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I like the weird guitars, like like the Gibson RD, and I don't know.
Look that up.
Yeah, Gibson RD is pretty cool. Or
Yeah, what do we got?
yeah, mutant starfish.
Oh yeah, the dime.
That's the Dimebag Daryl shape.
Okay, that's got some curves. The RD's a curvy
and
guitar.
I love the guitars that that look. I mean, I love all guitars because I just love guitars, but yeah, especially the ones that are just that make you kind of cock your head a little bit. You're like, like that's a little, like that's a little strange. My lightsaber, I would want mine to be black, definitely.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm
you,
debating between. So I maintain a Twitter thread that I call the Museum of Shitty Guitars, and so I think like the honest answer for my favorite guitar shape. One time I found this like Egyptian hieroglyphic Anubis guitar that somebody was trying to sell for like $12,000. And like so like the headstock was the Anubis head, the neck was the Anubis's neck, and then the guitar's body was the body of the Anubis. And that's my favorite guitar.
Yeah. Very special.
But I definitely I was super into metal as a teenager, so all the spiky fucking pointy shit, all the BC Rich stuff, like those are cool. Guitars that can hurt people are cool.
Sure are.
Any guitar can hurt someone.
Yeah, but one that can cut somebody.
Just ask the Dillinger Escape player.
Sure. But yeah, just looking up BC Rich on their website. Fuck yeah,
there's probably some deep cuts.
Yeah, the Warlock's cool. They make some V's. The Mockingbird's cool. The War Beast also cool, which I think is a take on the Warlock. Yeah, just unnecessary angles and spikes. Why not? Right?
Diamond plate pick guards. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
What do you got, Owen?
I really like it's going to be a boring answer, but I really like just the generic offset, like Jaguar, Fender Jaguar or Jazzmaster shape, but then also the Rickenbacker 620, I believe is the model number, where it's not the bigger hollow body ones, but the solid body. Yeah, I'm certain it's a 620, but yeah, Rickenbacker 620. Backer 620 and the shape of those basses, I just got a Rickenbacker bass that the shape of it is my favorite shape of a stringed instrument.
It's a really really beautiful shape.
But Mark sent over a group chat cool
guitar
shape the other day. This future guitar.
Wait, that one? Oh yeah.
Oh, the Gittler.
The Gittler. That one. Yeah, well, see that one is an electric guitar with no shape.
That That's a concept.
Everything
guitar.
is
That's
the
like the
shape.
concept of a guitar.
Yeah, and I like a nice Chapman stick. Fucking war guitar. You guys familiar with those?
Yeah,
Oh, of
behold the
course.
arquebus.
Yeah, man. And dysrhythmia.
Mhm.
John Fogerty's baseball bat guitar.
Yeah,
What's the
Brand of those headless guitars.
Steinberger.
Yeah,
Steinberg.
Steinbergs.
Oh yeah, and then there's like all the
Burglars.
the weird like there's another all the aluminum neck headless stuff like or another good shape is the fucking Joe Satriani with the fucking like monkey grip cut into the side so you can just hold it.
Ibanez
No,
Jam.
Steve Vai, dude.
Steve Vai.
Yeah,
Sure.
that's not Joe Satriani. Get out of here with that.
Sorry, I got my shredders confused.
They're both those are both Ibanez guitars though.
So this person, Grimmy, wanted to know, what is your favorite electric guitar shape? And we gave them every guitar shape.
Yeah.
Anything
Sorry
except
Yeah, we like guitars.
So this
Yeah.
one is available right now on Tucson Craigslist.
Oh, that looks like a.
that's got some curves.
Whoa.
Oh wait, can you
That's
move
a
to
groovy
your
guitar.
left a little bit?
Wow.
There we go.
What is that?
That's some
That's,
that's some
it's custom
James
made.
Hetfield shit right there for sure.
Custom made. That is awesome.
It's only $2,200.
I got
So-
$2,000 on that.
That's a
That's actually
deal.
not so bad.
You can't play that guitar sitting down. It would just like slide right off your knee.
It would just
Yeah.
like impale
Unless
your
you
fucking leg.
unless you put like the sharp part like in between your legs and played it like this.
Yeah,
Kinda
it's a
like
knee. It's a knee like
Played it like
relief.
Monkey.
Yeah.
Oh,
Ugh.
no, Fieldy played like that, not Monkey. I don't know how Monkey played. He played a long strap.
Definitely a long strap. Right down to the totally
7
below the
strings.
dick style. Like yeah, 7
Absolutely.
strings to the knees.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yes. So those are all the guitar shapes for you, Grimmy.
Cool. Owen, do you want to ask this next
Is it my
question?
turn next? Whose turn is it?
Owen.
Owen.
Right. Muyo? I hope I'm pronouncing that name correctly. Muyo says, best advice for someone who wants to start skateboarding.
I got a very fast answer for this. Get a skateboard and skate a lot. That's all. That's
I would say buying a decent skateboard, there's a big difference between a cheapo Walmart skateboard and like an actual like,
yeah.
skateboard from like a skate shop. So probably like get a cheap one at a skate shop rather than the Walmart one, because I think you can kind of figure stuff out and like actually do tricks a little bit easier because they're lighter and have better
Yeah.
pop, better bearings.
Faster, better bearings. Bearings and trucks, I think, are the really big differences for beginners between
Mhm.
like a Walmart board and like a real skateboard. So yeah, get a real skateboard and then skate all the time. Skate as much as you can. There's no other way to do it.
I think it's my turn, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Are we all set? We ready for
Yeah.
this?
Locked and
Y'all ready
loaded.
for this?
Do it.
Oliver Bach writes, the first time I saw you guys was in November of 2012, when the way the set worked for that tour was y'all started out electric full band, had an acoustic chunk in the middle that was just Sean, Ben, and maybe Preston, and then followed with more electric full band to finish it out. Do you think you guys will ever play sets in that way again? Also, Sean was using an electric guitar for the full band sets, and it definitely gave more of an AJJ the Skate Punk band sort of vibe. Is that something you guys tried to distance yourselves from or tried to branch out of? I've also heard that Sean doesn't like playing some of the songs on Knife Man as much like Hate Rain on Me, Distance, Skate Park, and Sorry Bro. I guess my question is ultimately, will we ever get a full electric show again similar to that tour? I feel lucky I got to see it when I did. Yeah, what I recall, so that would have been the Future of the Left tour if it was November 2012. And Yeah, it was very ambitious. That was the first year where we did more of a full band type of touring. I guess Preston, right? That was like the first time that we had you come on tour with us, and we had just like kind of a big production. We had
That might have been the
multiple-
second round.
Well, that was the second round. So like earlier 2012 was
Yeah.
the initial one, but 2012 being the year where that kind of like started, rather than just
Yes.
like the two-piece acoustic stuff. So that was very ambitious, and it was fun, and we made a lot of noise. Yeah, and it was probably somewhat challenging for the sound guys. But yeah, I think that, well, it's really fun to do shows that have changes from the start to the finish. So we always try to add that element to our sets. So whether it's, just Sean playing a few acoustic songs, or like switching the instrumentation between songs, adding and removing people from the stage. Just, I don't know. I think it's fun, and I hope it's fun for audience members. And we try to do that. But we also try to streamline it a little bit easier, so it's easier for us and for sound guys and stuff like that. Sound people, I should say. So yeah. I don't know, what do you guys think?
Do you remember if you had the upright on that tour?
Not on the Future of the Left tour, but we brought the Wurlitzer on that one. I remember.
Right. So Preston was playing Nord and Wurlitzer and electric guitar. Or maybe
I don't know
not
if we
even
had
having the Nord.
There was no Nord.
It was
We just
Wurlitzer
had
and
the-
electric guitar.
Maybe a
Yeah,
keyboard. We
and
might
like
have had
a,
the
The Alesis.
some other keyboard.
micro sampler.
Alesis.
But either
Yeah.
way, so I mean, yeah, you didn't have the upright, which was definitely like that. I think that was probably a more straightforward, like, why that would feel like a more electric set, because you played electric bass the whole time.
Yeah, a little bit more rockin' type stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that for sure. But since then, we've done tours where we have the upright and the electric. I guess that was the one time where Sean was like playing electric guitar for a portion of this. Like, there were times before that, but like that was probably the only tour I can think of where Sean would have like a big portion of the set where he'd play electric guitar.
There was
Yeah.
the 2017 tour with Chase playing drum, or 2016 tour with Chase playing drums was full electric.
That's right. Yeah.
That was just like a
Playing
week,
Yeah, it was like a week and a
Yeah.
half, but
I mean, I feel like every tour we do, each one is like, I don't know, for a while now, like been a little bit different. It's like, I feel like I don't necessarily feel like we're like, I mean, maybe you guys feel differently. I don't feel like we're necessarily like distancing from that way. It's just like that each time we go on tour, it's like a little bit different. Like when Deacon was playing for the band, that also like really lent itself to like a hard, fast skate
For
punk
sure.
kind of sound.
Yeah.
So and then like with when Owen plays drums, like the band kind of leans into another side of itself. And then even like, this the little short Good Luck Everybody tour, with that Owen couldn't go on with the four of us. We were all mixing up a lot more. So I feel like it's always a little bit different. And like, I could totally see us at some point, like, playing a real rockin' electric set. It just has to make sense in the moment. And maybe by the time that we get together again, we'll be like, yeah, let's do that. Let's melt some faces for a little bread.
Yeah.
one
Yeah.
We've
thought-
also figured
I
out
want to do that.
we figured out our tech sometimes a little bit more too. Like originally, like back then, now you're able to like distort your acoustic guitar, Sean, like really well and things like that. And we're like back then when all that stuff was new, it was like a little janky, so it made more sense to like for the aggressive stuff, like let's just go to a straight electric.
Yeah.
It's always changing a little.
Mhm.
Yeah,
For
that's
sure.
what I was thinking. Like the electric guitar kind of just being replaced. It fills the same role for the acoustic that now that you figured out a cool way to do it for the acoustic to get distorted and sound good, and then that like kind of in a deer hoof sense, like where it's like try to not bring a ton of shit. It's like a distortion pedal takes up so much less space than an electric guitar.
Yeah.
And another
you miss out on the aesthetic of it, basically. I think like
Right, you could get one that looks like an Anubis.
Yeah. Love to give me one of those Anubis guitars. I like, yeah, to my ear it sounds better overall, like when I play acoustic guitar, when it's overdriven or through pedals or whatever. Like I think I'm just simply a better acoustic player than an electric player. Probably because I don't use a pick usually, but I don't know. I guess yeah, for that tour is definitely more rocking. Can't remember if that might have been the Flying V or no. I was playing a Marauder.
You started with the Flying V, and you were told that you had to.
I was told it sucked, and then I was handed a Marauder.
And then the tour with Chase, you did play your Flying V.
Yes.
A different Flying V.
Sick Flying V. Thanks, Scott.
Yeah, specifically about those songs too. Like, is it one of those two, Skate Park or Sorry Bro? Like one of them, you guys have just never done live ever, right?
Sorry,
Sorry,
bro.
bro.
Probably, yeah. Which Owen did a great job playing drums on that. It's a rocker.
But then
yeah,
like,
I don't know.
and then
A
like
lot of songs.
Hate Rain on Me and Distance. Those two songs were both for like multiple tours. They were in like the first 4-song opening block, I think. So I think I would say we are kind of sick of playing them. They just don't come up because they've been overplayed a bit. Which, you know, there's something to the perception.
Oh, sorry.
There's something to the perception, you know, for us, they're overplayed. For people who go to the show, they see the show once. So it's like, of course, they want to see the song. But yeah, when it's like, oh, yeah, this tour, we played Distance for the second or third song every night. So give it a break. What were you going to say?
Oh, nothing.
Cool.
Yeah. Allie Julian wants to know, do you guys recommend any other Patreons to support?
A couple cool artists, Julia Wirtz and Craig Gleason. Good artists have Patreons. Laura Stevenson is an awesome musician that has a Patreon.
Mannequin Pussy has a Patreon.
Daughters has one, I think.
Whoa, really?
Yeah. I think they post like stems and shit, which reminds me, it's not a Patreon, but the Shushu, what is the title? They're doing the subscription through Bandcamp thing, which is more or less a Patreon. You get a bunch of cool shit from that.
Oh yeah. Right. Pierce Brenneman wants to know, what's your most cherished musical memory?
I got one where I remember because it was the catalyst for realizing that it was a thing you could do, making music or playing music as like a normal person. Because I'd always kind of separated. There's like reality, and then there's sort of the people that are like real musicians playing on the radio or on stages and stuff. And I couldn't see how those two worlds came together. And I was like, when I was in middle school, my mom was babysitting these 3 boys that were like family friends. And we show up at their house. I just went with her, and they were about my age. One was a little younger, one was a little older. And we show up at the house, and I heard some riff that was like, I don't know, some alternative, like a Nirvana song or a Marilyn Manson song or some shit. And I remember hearing it and being like, that's weird. That radio is like really loud. It sounds really cool. And then we walk upstairs, and it's like the 3 of them are just playing drums and bass and guitar. And I was like, holy shit, like you guys can play the music that's on the radio? You're able to do this? And it just like a a switch just went off, and I was like, oh wait, this is like doable. You can actually do this. And I was like, such an important moment for me. Without it, I don't think I would. I mean, it's that was what made me realize, like, okay, I think I want to do this. This seems pretty possible.
Nice.
When I was in high school, I played at Carnegie Hall with my orchestra. Which like there's a bunch of, things I could bring up to like sour it. Like, I don't know, I think it might have been a pay to play situation or something like that. But we definitely, yeah. But we definitely did that. So that's great. I'm not gonna say all the things that could sour it.
Yeah, that rocks.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say, yeah, there's a lot. I keep on thinking a lot of different ones, but when we played the Troubadour on that 2012 tour with Laura Stevenson and Roar, that was just a really wonderful show. Just to be in that venue, I just love the feel of it, the history. I'm probably romanticizing it somewhat, but there's like a certain smell. There's like so much like wood in that building. When you walk in, it's kind of like you smell the wood of the place. And yeah, it was just a really amazing show. Dylan was there playing mandolin with us, and I guess that was like, I'm thinking that was the first time we headlined a show at the Troubadour, and just, yeah, it always sounds great there, and the audience was really great. And yeah, AJJ, Laura Stevenson, and the Cans and Roar at the Troubadour would be mine.
That was a great time.
Yeah, that was a hell of a night.
Did you guys sell it out that night?
Fuck yeah, we did.
Really?
I wasn't gonna say it, but that was nice too.
Yeah. Yeah, selling out the Troubadour is great. I think my favorite musical memory was like a very early one of playing. So growing up, for the first part of my life, I lived with my mom and my grandparents. And so I slept in my mom's room, and in her room she had an upright piano, and I remember just playing on that for hours and hours, and that was just making up little melodies, playing a lot of the black keys, and seeing how those like sounded really, really pleasant, and just spacing out on that piano. That's I guess that's my favorite core musical memory.
That's a good one.
Yeah. And then also selling out the Metro.
Fucking sell out.
All right, Preston, what you got?
I mean, there are a lot, but I will just name one, which is like, it actually happened just a couple years, like maybe I guess it was a little bit before COVID. So yeah, maybe about a year ago. And I was visiting my grandma, and my grandma has Alzheimer's, and I played. They have a piano. They have a piano at their house. Sorry, I'm getting a little emotional, but yeah, just I started playing the Lead Belly song. Where did you sleep last night? And my grandma, like, kind of came out of where she was, and just came over and sang with me.
Oh wow.
And we sang that song together.
That's beautiful.
Sorry, I didn't mean to go that. I didn't know that would make me so emotional, but it does.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, just singing with my grandma. That's cool.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
Sorry, next.
No. No, I was just thinking like Yeah, Alzheimer's. The music is really good for it. Like my grandfather had it, and he was living with my parents, and I would like play cello stuff for him. Yeah, it's powerful stuff.
Yeah, music is magic for sure.
Yeah.
That's why they call people who make music magicians.
I was wondering why.
So, finishing it out, Dakota Strickland asks, will Sean and Ben ever make an album of strictly Neil Young covers?
Sounds like fun.
Strictly Neil.
I think it's rude to not include Preston in that.
Yeah, come
but
on.
If the way the question goes, sorry, you gotta miss it.
It would be,
true.
I think, yeah, no, it's got to be, yeah. Sean and Ben, just Sean and Ben, Neil Young cover album. I don't think that'll happen, but yeah, get together. You know, because like Neil Young has so many great recordings of like bands. You know, he's put together a lot of really great bands, and oftentimes those bands are recorded live all at the same time. So I think to really do justice to a Neil Young covers album, you'd have to have full bands playing at the same time to get the spook, which is a term
Get those honey
Neil Young
sliders.
uses a lot. And get some honey sliders, yeah. Resurrect Rusty Crenshaw, is that his name?
Kershaw.
Yeah.
Kershaw.
Yeah, we'll call it Young Forever.
Was that the Laura and Jeff one, or?
Yeah, that just
Yeah.
reminded me. Yeah, Laura Stevenson
Forever
and Jeff
Young.
Rosenstock have their Neil Young EP.
Doesn't sound like it was recorded by a live band either.
Would you guys
Some
would
EP.
you would probably require it to be like Tonight's the Night style, right?
Like where we get
I mean-
drunk and shoot pool and then play as an afterthought.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Could be an element of that, I think.
That'd be
like
tight.
do it as like a method actor. Neil Young method covers.
That'd be really fun. Yeah. Get tequila drunk and
yeah.
play Tonight's the Night songs, and then eat honey sliders and play on the beach songs. Oh, for those that don't know,
Yeah.
honey sliders, it's marinated, or it's a marijuana that's been cooked in honey, and then you just make these little globs of it and you eat it, and then it like lays you out. Apparently, never tried it.
There's never been a better
Neil loves
time.
them though.
Yeah, I'm sure hasn't.
There's never been a sweeter time to taste sweet oblivion.
Yeah. Did you guys like Forever? Listen to the Laura and Jeff Neal record, Forever Young?
Yeah. So at least one of those songs.
Oh no,
Yeah, I
I
thought it
didn't.
was-
I got it.
Pretty good.
I like
Yeah.
it. It's not my favorite. Those aren't my favorite Neil Young songs. They're good. I would have chose different Neil Young songs, or just the ones that I know the most. But then again, it's Neil Young who has written and recorded hundreds and hundreds of songs. So, you know, I think it has a lot to do with just like familiarity. And those are like some of the songs I'm a little bit less familiar with, but they did a great job. Sounds really good.
Sean, didn't
I like
you
their,
do Sky About to Rain with Jeff a few years back or something?
Yeah, I played a guitar part on that on his cover. That was
It's a
pretty
good
good.
song.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever heard a Neil Young album all the way through.
What? You've toured with us. You're in this fucking band.
Yeah.
Got earbuds.
Yeah. Yeah. A minute ago, you said that you had never heard Hounds of Love all the way through, and I know that's not true because I've definitely driven the van.
But yeah.
Well, I guess I haven't paid close attention.
Well, there's active listening,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
what Owen
Yeah.
does.
But you're a real jump around music. I guess that doesn't. You're a real
I'm an
jump around
ADD
music
listener.
So yeah,
Yeah.
it kind of makes sense that you wouldn't listen to a full album.
Mhm.
I remember when we were on tour with Kepi, and Owen was driving, and Owen is skip around. He's a song skipper for sure. And I remember Kepi yelling from the back seat, like after you skipped Roadrunner from Jonathan Richman. him just being really disappointed. It's like, what the hell?
Didn't he call you Skippy or something?
Yeah.
Or Skipper, I think.
Oh man.
Well, didn't he
I
call
don't remember that.
didn't he call John
Yeah.
Martin Skippy too?
Yeah, we did call John Martin Skippy.
Well, we called him
Or Scooter.
Skittles.
Scooter.
Skittles.
Yeah, Kepi called John Skittles, but it came from his original nickname, which was Scooter. That he
Okay.
gave himself. It was like his roadie name. And then our old drummer Justin, the first drummer we had, was his nickname was Skippy. So those are all Skippy, Skittles, Scooter, and Skipper. All different people, except for John, who is both Scooter and Skittles.
Man, Kim is gonna have like this sprawling tree of like fucked up names.
Oh yeah,
Part of the archive is just like
Lots of
ancillary weirdo names.
great.
Cool. Well, that's all the questions. That's for this month. Thanks.
Totally. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Thanks for watching this far.
Yeah, you made it. Here's your prize.
Enjoy the doc.
The prize is that you don't have to watch it anymore.
Yep, it's done.
Yeah.